It's been a good month for New York racing, not just with the Belmont coming up, obviously, up at Saratoga, which is going to be phenomenal. We're a month away from the main Saratoga meet. The Breeders' Cup is finally coming back to Belmont Park after 22 long years. And I was there back in 2005 when St. Liam won the what is? Look at John's got the prop. He's got the. That's a surfboard.
It's a surfboard from California, but we can make it into anything we want, really. What would it be for New York?
Like a pigeon or something?
The Empire State Building? Can we make it?
No, how about like a pigeon or a rat?
How about a big middle finger to the rest of the world? That's pretty much what New Yorkers do all the time.
That's why I remember when they were talking about how to rebuild the World Trade Center. There was like, a perfect New York response would be 5 towers and then one in the middle.
Right. Exactly. I do remember that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I interrupted you with my
No, that's
prop.
great. No, I was there in 2005 when St. Liam won, and it was a little cold, but it wasn't like it was snowing. It wasn't like it was at Monmouth, like the monsoon, but that was too much. It was too much for the Blue Bloods to handle. So they haven't been back in 22 years, but with the new Belmont Park being constructed as we speak, the Breeders' Cup is set to come to Belmont in 2027. Right. So that's super exciting news, and it makes me even more excited about the reopening and the opening of the new Belmont. So I've come around on this, John. I started being a stodgy, like traditionalist where, it doesn't look like the old Belmont. But now I've come around and I'm pretty excited and intrigued to see what it's going to be like. And shout out to David O'Rourke and the team at Naira who've been lobbying for this for a really long time. Made it happen finally.
Made it happen. Yeah. Now, okay, I'm going to ask you to put on your futuristic, looking forward, prognosticating lens. Will there be on Breeders' Cup Friday or Saturday? Will there be a stake race on the Tapeta carded in either of those days?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? You got 3 surfaces, use them.
I would love to see that. I haven't seen, other than racetracks that primarily run on Tapeta, i.e. Presque Isle, Turfway, Woodbine. You don't see a lot of races that are carded specifically, written specifically for the Tapeta. I'm looking at you, Gulfstream Park. Where they have the third surface and they're not writing races on stake races on the Tapeta. So I would love it to see if there was a Tapeta carded stake race, not a turf race coming off, but actually, a designated race on the all-weather on Breeders' Cup weekend, because that's when you need it. You need to have it when you have, all of those fans focused on our industry for that weekend.
That's not where I thought this conversation was going. The synthetic champion here wants an all-weather stake race on Breeders' Cup weekend. You hear that? Don't make him pull up the surfboard again.
Don't make me come over there. Don't make me come there.
In case you forgot how much sway John has in this industry, that surfboard means influence.
Yes. And that surfboard was actually absconded by Aaron Yagoda. I can't even take credit for it. He basically took it when we were out there.
He's the best at that shit. Remember when he took the saddle towel from the Arkansas Derby?
Remember? That's what's getting framed.
We
went full circle.
But I was like, Aaron's one of those guys. Like, how did you get that?
Yeah.
He's like, when Jose Ortiz got off the horse for a minute, I pulled it and then ran. So
and then I stuffed it down my pants and nobody noticed. Exactly.
You need one of those guys in your crew.
You always do. You know what? Yep. Tip of the cap to Aaron Yagoda. I know we haven't talked about our epic performance of the week, but he was in the running for this week's epic performance of the week by stealing all of this paraphernalia that I have in and around my house and in and around the office space. So to you, Aaron Yagoda, I know you also were influenced or an influencer when it came to getting the Breeders' Cup in New York. I think part of the reason why it hasn't been in New York for 20 years is because the statute of limitations finally ran out on Aaron Yagoda's hooliganism.
Oh, my man.
Anyway, he'll be there. He'll be there this weekend. Go ahead and go up and introduce yourself to him and shake his hand.
Yep. just keep an eye on your wallet and anything else that's valuable.
Julia, can you put Aaron's cell number underneath here so that way people who want to get in touch with him for this weekend, they can go ahead and do that? He's probably going to be, at Linda Rice's barn. That's usually the best place to catch him. He's definitely not working.
All right. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to mention.
We make a hard right from congratulations to the Belmont and Naira for getting the Breeders' Cup too. Aaron, hold on to your wallets because Aaron Yagota's coming by.
Everybody's favorite 5-finger discount user, Aaron Yagota. One other thing I do want to mention real quick that's also in the vein of exciting things for New York racing, and this happened about a month ago. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. Is penny breakage is coming in New York. So New York is going to join Kentucky, and Washington State is the only racing states to break payoffs to the penny. And this was reported by our old pal Bill Finley of the TDN. And it's going to take a slight issue with something Bill said. He said, when lawmakers passed the New York State budget Thursday, the package included a gift for horse players. This is not a gift. This is justice. This is us finally not getting stolen from to the tune of like 8 figures every single year. This is what should happen in every single state. But again, I want to give a shout out to David O'Rourke and Naira, and also, of course, Pat Cummings, who started this whole movement in Kentucky, because this is huge. And just as a quick example, and Bill mentions it in the story, in the Derby, Sovereignty paid is across the board prices $17.96 to win, $7.50 and $5.58. And without penny breakage, you would have paid $17.80, $7.40 and $5.40. So even just on that one bet alone, what is that? 28. That's 44 or 46 cents that they just took. So yeah, I did it off the top of my head, baby.
Good. That was good.
Beautiful mind. That's 46 cents on one $2 wager that they took out of the pockets of the bettors and potentially kept it from being bet back. That's just one wager. Think about all the wagers across the country where they're stealing basically 15, 16, 17, 18 cents off of your bet. And that's just on a $2 bet. And when you bet $100, it could add up to $18, $15. It's real money. So that's coming to New York starting on September 1st. And there's a slight carve out that allows for nickel breakage on track wagers. But even that is the prerequisite for that is that all breakage proceeds for the nickel breakage have to be dedicated to aftercare funding. So all good with that. And so this is great news, and it definitely makes a real difference in the lives of horse players who just we don't feel like we get enough. We get a short shrift from a lot of different entities and a lot of different points in this business. When we're the backbone of the industry, I'm going to be counting those pennies, John, starting September 1st.
The funny thing about it is, isn't it totally appropriate and right on brand with our industry that we get penny breakage right when the U.S. government says that they're not minting pennies anymore?
That's a good point.
Okay,
you're going to have to round it up.
You should have gotten your 22 cents, but we're going to give you 2 dimes instead because we're just not making them anymore.
I forgot about that. Damn it.
Well, it's just like me saying intermissions can't win going a mile and a quarter. Wah wah. Yeah, Green. One did it like in the biggest race of the year about a month ago.
Man, this is why you pay the top dollar to watch this show. There's no other research department that works harder than we do.
Than this one, exactly. The epic performance of the week goes to neither of us because we're both knuckleheads. Yes, that's exactly right.